going on, YouTube? Kennard, Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. We're talking Auburn football. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. I am your host, and as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. Okay, so we are continuing to kind of navigate through this offseason. Hopefully, camps will get to start. And, when I really think about these student athletes, man, they're really putting it out there. They're really, it seems like a lot of them are willing to make the sacrifice. Especially in Power 5 football, there have been a couple of teams that are like, you know what, man, we're not going to do it this year. The Ivy League has already backed out. Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, which is a Division II school that competes in the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, which is a part of kind of the HBCU brand, which is a code for historically black colleges and universities. Morehouse College has pulled out, and we don't know what's going to happen as far as the pullouts after that. Now, a lot of folks may think, okay, well, maybe, those schools probably weren't going to make a lot of money anyway, and probably when you look at the risk versus reward, probably wouldn't have been a good move for them to try this out anyway. But at the same time, we can only speculate outside of the obvious threat of the pandemic as to why they might be saying, hey, look, we're just going to call it quits for this year and try it again next year. So when I look at the Auburn defense, let's just assume that all this stuff is going to pan out. I look at the Auburn defense and I see some really good linebackers. I see some stable situations at the defensive line. I don't see a lot of game breaking type deals at defensive line, but I think these guys can be pretty good. I did a video a while back to where I was wondering, well, where's the pressure going to come from? Who's going to be that guy like Marlon Davidson or like Derek Brown that just kind of forces himself up the middle and then kind of helps some other guys to get some pressure in that regard. Now, I will say this. In college football, is becoming increasingly hard because quarterbacks are releasing the ball a lot faster. It's becoming increasingly hard to get like real deal consistent pressure, especially without having a strong buck linebacker or every now and then utilizing the star or the nickelback, which is what we're going to talk about today, in Christian Tutt. I think Christian Tutt is that guy that's not only going to help Auburn, with pressure possibly from the star position, but considering the fact that the cornerback and secondary room is not really all that, deep, considering, Auburn has done a pretty decent job of recruiting, but those guys have yet to prove themselves. But we got a couple of dudes that really going to have to step up. Christian Tutt, Smoke Monday, and Jamien Sherwood. Out of the three, though, Jamien Sherwood actually was the most productive with almost 40 tackles, including a very key stop in the Oregon game, which made Oregon take a chance and go for it on a key fourth down, late, kind of sort of maybe mid-third, maybe middle of the fourth, and gave Auburn some momentum down the stretch to catapult Auburn towards an opportunity at winning that particular football game. Then you got Smoke Monday. The only issue, I think Smoke Monday is a very good football player. I think he can be a little, I'm not going to, overrated is not the right word to say, but I think because of his name and because of his persona, he probably has a little bit more stock than I think he should have. Although I do think he's a great player. One thing I would hope that Smoke Monday is working on is his tackling technique. Even in a nice hit against DeAndre Swift against Georgia, he came with his face mask. And those are penalties. He actually got hit with a targeting penalty in the Kent State game. And those are things that worry me about Smoke Monday and his tackling techniques. Also would like to see him get a little bit better in coverage. Teams actually targeting him on mismatches. Got caught in the Florida game, got caught in the Minnesota game, also got caught in the Georgia game for long passes. They're really picking on Smoke Monday on those deep passes, so he's going to have to be on the lookout for that. Christian Tutt, however, I think probably the more talented out of all the groups. He's very savvy, has a nose for the football, very good tackler in space. He does get beat a lot of times by slot receivers, kind of like your boy from Waddell from Alabama, but hell, he beats everybody. But either way, I like Christian Tutt. I like the swagger that he adds to this particular defense, and I think he's going to definitely continue to be a playmaker and be able to help supplement Auburn in certain coverage packages. So I'm really feeling good about what Christian Tutt's going to be able to do. And last but not least, Jamien Sherwood, obviously the most productive out of the three, very quietly had a really good season last year. And I think the secondary is really fortunate to have these three guys back to where Auburn can kind of piece together some things moving forward. All right, guys. Christian Tutt, Jamien Sherwood, and Smoke Monday. Big shout out to these guys. Really look forward to seeing them play this year. Yet again, another car video from Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. I am your host, Kennard Vernon Stewart. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.